Okie dokie. We be live. All right. Happy Tuesday morning, nerds. For your nerd brief. I'm Troy Stegner with Talk Nerdy to Me, and I'm going to be giving you all the nerdy news that is fit to know. Okay, statues, sideshow, the Huntress Sculpt Cape edition by Prime One Studios. Wow, it's from the Batman Hush comic book based on that. Beautiful piece. They're going to limit it to $750. Total made is going to cost $1,099. You can make payments. It's on pre-order now. It's expected to arrive January through March of 2020. Wow, that's 2 years. That's a year and a half at least. That's a long wait. So you can start your payment plan now, and it won't hurt your wallet too bad. This piece is just amazing. It's a 1/3 scale. About 32 inches tall. It has interchangeable right arms. She's leaning against the wall. I'll have a link in the description for you. You can have her holding the crossbow or her battle staff. This, if you're into Huntress or any of the Batman-related characters, this would be great to add to your collection. The Huntress, based off Batman Hush, which is one of the best Batman stories out there. Okay, Valiant this is kind of weird. Valiant is putting out a really, really rare variant for Bloodshot Rising Spirit #1. This is going to be a glass variant. That glass, like what your windows are made out of. Really going to be very limited. To get this at your comic book shop, they have to order at least 250 copies of the normal Bloodshot Rising Spirit #1 to unlock the ability to order the glass variants. 250 copies of any title is a lot, especially when you're talking about Valiant, who is not one of the big two and typically doesn't sell as well as the big two or even Image. That glass variant is going to be crazy. It is going to be printed on a special multicolored process on carefully devised painted glass with artwork by superstar creator Doug Braithwaite. Wow. I'm not sure how they're going to ship these without them breaking. If it's coming from Diamond, they don't have a good track record on sending things without them having some kind of damage. If it comes directly from Valiant, maybe you'll get it unbroken. I don't know if they're going to replace broken ones from shipping or not. But if you don't want to take the chance, and I'm sure they're having to buy 250, comic stores are going to charge you accordingly for that one glass one. If you don't want to try your luck with that, they're also going to sell it in the first 8 in a pre-order edition bundle. So you get the first 8 pre-ordered, and you can get the exclusive covers by Ken Lashley. Wow. Yeah, due to come out November 14th on the shelf for Bloodshot Rising Spirit #1. Hopefully Bloodshot gets a big boost from the Vin Diesel movie that they're making. The character is a great character. Not sure about the glass variant. I'd be afraid to even display it in the store. So, yeah, if you don't want the glass variant, you can get the first 8 in a bundle. Gamers, Battlefield 5, the open beta will start in September 4th to be exact, for early access, with it opening up on the 6th for all other early players. They're going to add a bunch of, for the open beta, you're going to have the Rotterdam map on Conquest mode and the Arctic Fjord map on both Conquest and Grand Operations. Grand Operations, if you're not familiar with it, is the multiplayer version where you play across multiple maps and multiple players. It's kind of like a battle royale for other games. They're just calling theirs Grand Operations because, hey, it's military. This game will be available worldwide for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Origin on October 19th. Firefly, the popular TV show with the brown coats. If you don't like Firefly, you're not going to be interested in this. Firefly is moving over to Boom Studios, which we reported a couple days ago. Boom is just going all out. Their Firefly #1 is going to get a big box variant. They're calling it the Big Damn Heroes variant, which is a reference to something from the show. It's by Greg Pak and Dan McDade, but Joss Whedon, the creator of Firefly, is a consultant for the story. Wow. They're going to limit this big box variant to 1,000 units. I guess that I don't really see that as being really limited, but 1,000 units that will contain all 8 of the variant covers for Firefly #1. And there's some big names there. You got Bill Sienkiewicz, Joe Quinones. It's also going to have a blank sketch variant. It's going to have a massive Firefly Legacy Edition book that reprints all the Serenity comics from Dark Horse. The Serenity comics from Dark Horse were really, really good. If you didn't get a chance to read them, you can pick this up, and now you can. There's also going to be an exclusive variant from Raza and an exclusive Firefly print from Dylan Todd. 50 of those prints are going to be signed by Joss Whedon. So that means you have about a 1 in 20 chance of getting a Joss Whedon autograph when you buy the Big Damn Heroes box. This is supposedly coming out. Do we have a date? Okay, they pictured all the variants. I don't see a date. It's coming out soon. They're soliciting it now. I know I haven't ordered it yet for the shop, so it is not. I would guess by end of the year. Anyway, the Firefly Big Damn Heroes box. If you're a fan of cons, the Vegas Fan Fusion, which is run by the same people who do run Phoenix Comic Con, and which has been changed to Phoenix Fan Fusion. They changed all their Comic Cons to Fan Fusions to avoid the lawsuit from between San Diego Comic Con and Salt Lake City Comic Con, which was a big fiasco. They decided to just avoid all that and rename. Well, the Vegas Fan Fusion, it was supposed to come up in September. They sent out a letter saying they're canceling it for this year. It doesn't say permanently, just for the 2018. We don't know why. Phoenix Fan Fusion the attendance was down over the past year or two. They released a lot of people from their jobs this year. Maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe they're scaling back. But if you had a ticket for the Vegas Fan Fusion, you're going to be getting a refund for your ticket. If you'd already put money out for hotel and travel, can't help you there. You might be stuck on that one. But Vegas, there's plenty to do. Go to Vegas and gamble, go see a show, just take in the atmosphere. But you won't be seeing Fan Fusion. Another animator from anime passed away. Kunihiro Abe, most known for his Gundam illustrations, passed away. He's done mostly Mobile Suit Gundam, but he's had his hands in quite a few of the other Gundam-related series. So sad news about that. Fans of Hit Girl, the character from Mark Miller, is going to be getting another. Well, she's already got her own comic book title. The newest story arc, a 4-part storyline, The Golden Rage of Hollywood, is going to be written by Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith is back to writing comics. He is going to take Mindy McCready into Hollywood. She is going after all these sexual, I don't want to call them predators, but the guys who sexual harassed, or I guess you can call them predators, guys like Harvey Weinstein. She's going to be going after them in a 4-part series. It should be really good. Kevin Smith is very familiar with the Weinsteins since he kind of got his start with them. In fact, he was so upset about the whole Weinstein thing being caught with the Me Too movement, he took all future profit from, or all future revenues or royalties from the movies made by the Weinsteins with him, and is donating them to a woman's sexual harassment charity. And Ben Affleck was actually did the same thing. So all the royalties they're making from that, I guess they consider it blood money. They are donating that to a charity to help women. So yeah, Kevin Smith's arc on Hit Girl coming out in January 2019 is going to start with Hit Girl number 13. Looks like we're going to get some cover art by Francesco Francavilla, who does really good covers. You've probably seen a lot of his stuff on Archie series. Sons of Anarchy is getting a spinoff. I think we've talked about this before. The Mayans Motorcycle Club. They are going to have, they've already said, Kurt Sutter, that there's going to be flashbacks, and you're going to see some of the Sons of Anarchy cast. I mean, it's inevitable. They had so many run-ins with the Mayans. But one character you won't see is Jax Teller. Charlie Hunnam already said he does not want to go back to that character. When that character died at the end of the season, he went through a couple of weeks of bereavement. He actually, I guess, lived the character. He got really into it, and he doesn't even want to reprise that role. He wants to leave him dead, respect the character. So you won't see Charlie Hunnam's Jax Taylor. They've already said you're going to see Gemma, which makes sense since she's married to Kurt Sutter. It would be kind of dumb for her not to be in it. And other characters from the Sons of Anarchy series will make at least brief appearances throughout the Mayans Motorcycle Club series. This show is coming out on FX on Tuesday, September 4th. Sons of Anarchy fans, you're not going to want to miss it. The Mayans were, of course, their big rival club. Lego is killing it again. They're putting out another Star Wars Lego set. This one's going to be about 2,800 pieces, give or take. Betrayal at Cloud City. At Bespin, that's where, they came and they captured Han. He got put in carbonite. It's also where Luke got his hand cut off by his daddy. So this is it's a pretty big piece. It's 6 inches high, 22 inches wide, 22 inches deep. It's selling for $349. It will be available October 1st in stores, probably for VIP, maybe a day or so early. They've got it divided into like 4 or 5 different areas on here. It's so much coolness. There are 18 minifigures for this thing. Wow. And some of the minifigures you're going to have, you got your Chewbacca, C-3PO, all those. The ones I'm interested in is Lobot. You're going to see Lobot, who is the dude with the little computer thing around the back of his head, who is tied into the city's computer system, and he controls everything within the city through his little brain contraption there. You're also going to get an IG-88 droid. If you don't know IG-88, he's one of the most famous bounty hunters. He's right up there with Boba Fett. He's the robot bounty hunter. He is a bad dude. So yeah, you're going to get the landing platform for Boba's Slave One ship, the dining room with seating for 5 minifigs, a lounge and a garbage processing room with incinerator, the conveyor belt, sensor balcony with a swing out function, maintenance cabin for the lightsaber duel, plus the freezing chamber for the Han Solo and carbonite freezing that happened in the movie. If you're into Legos and you're into Star Wars, check out this piece. I know I'm going to be. Suicide Squad. Who doesn't love Suicide Squad? Amanda Waller sent all these guys out to kind of earn time off of their sentences. These bad supervillains. She's basically making villains do good things, kind of. They are coming out with Suicide Squad Black Files #1, which is going to be their supernatural series. all your the villains from Suicide Squad that deal with the supernatural stuff. That's who she's going to send out in the Suicide Squad Black. You expect to see in this first one Katana, of course. She's being tracked down by Cobra because she killed Cobra's lover, and her katana traps people's souls inside the sword. And you're also going to see El Diablo, the Enchantress, and Gentleman Ghost. You don't see a lot of Gentleman Ghost. That was kind of a weird one for me. But El Diablo and Enchantress you saw in the movie. This looks good. I believe it's going to be good. It looks like a 6-issue miniseries, possibly, coming out in November 7th to be exact. First issue, pretty big, 48 pages. I guess it's got 2 stories in it, so that's about right. 48-page, big book, $4.99. Don't feel bad about paying $4.99 for a double book. Suicide Squad Black. Dora the Explorer. We already told you Isabella Moner is cast as Dora. Well, we got a big name cast as her mother. Eva Longoria will be playing Dora's mother. Where there's no, I don't see anything here saying that they're going to cast Diego, who was like her male counterpart that came along later, or how if Boots the monkey is going to be CGI or actually a real life monkey, and how they're going to do Map, the talking Map. Don't know, but they do have a big name attached to it now. Eva Longoria will be Dora the Explorer's mom in the movie. Gotham Season 5 coming back in January. They have teased some pictures from the sets. You see a dude with no shirt, leather pants, and wearing red visor. And a lot of his little followers behind him are also wearing red visor. That's pretty unmistakable that is the Mutant Gang. So, and that's the Mutant Leader, the dude with the mohawk. So they're kind of pulling in, a little bit for next season, Ra's al Ghul. They're going to destroy all the bridges and divide up the city. So it's kind of like a no man's land mixed with Zero Year. But we're also getting a little bit of Dark Knight Returns with these villains, the Mutant Gang. In Dark Knight Returns, for like the first half of the story, they were just the main bad guys going after him. Season 5, you're also going to see a lot more of his rogue gallery. You're going to see Bane, Court of Owls, Penguin, Riddler, Man-Bat, and the Joker. You got to have the Joker. Like I said, Gotham Season 5 coming back in January. It is the final season for Gotham, so I'm hoping they tie up a lot of loose ends and push out into the Alfred Pennyworth spinoff about the origin of how Alfred came to be working for the Waynes. If you've been reading Justice League, and if you haven't, you should be. Scott Snyder is doing a really good job. In the Justice League, I believe it was number 6, Batman and Lex were miniaturized, and they were fighting inside of Superman's body, if I remember correct, over the doorknob of that Lex had that links to the totality. Well, Lex got to it, and he used the energy of the doorknob to just decimate Batman. They pull Batman out and bring him back to full size at the Hall of Justice, and they find out Batman is just broken. Arms, legs, he's just torn up. He hasn't been beaten this bad since Bane, I don't think. But Justice League 7, yeah, he's back. He's not wearing the normal bat suit, and you know why, because all the broken bones. This new suit is a kind of like a cast armor type deal, with a lot of protection around the neck. It almost looks like he's in traction, but standing up. So this has got to limit his movement, but it's not stopping him. He's still fighting. Supposedly in number 7, in Justice League 12, spoiler, Batman's going to end up going up against the entire Legion of Doom by himself because he's Batman and he's got a big ego. So yeah, if you're not reading Justice League, man, they're doing some really weird stuff, some really cool stuff. Pick it up. You're going to see Batman just get wasted and then still fight with full body armor. Number 7 is coming out Wednesday, September 5th. Let's see where Scott Snyder takes us with this Justice League series. You have undoubtedly seen the Shazam movie trailers online, maybe even on TV. Well, they're going to be giving him his own title again. First time in 20 years, Shazam is coming back to comics. He started life as Captain Marvel, as most people already know. That whole deal with DC and Marvel and Fawcett Comics and whatever. He's called Shazam now. He has a whole Shazam family. November of this year, they are going to be bringing in the whole Shazam family, but he's also getting 2 of his iconic villains coming back. You're going to get Mr. Mind and Doctor. Wow, why can't I find it? Dr. Savannah. Yeah, Dr. Savannah was one of the first ones, one of the main villains. Mastermind, or I'm sorry, Mr. Mind, he's a alien parasitic worm that can mind control you. If that sounds familiar, maybe it's because he was one of the main things in Kingdom Come, the big storyline by Mark Waid. So you're going to see those 2 iconic villains teaming up against poor old Billy Batson. Hopefully he can take care of them. It's going to be number 1 is coming out November 21st. With the movie coming out, you might want to pick this title up. Michael Wynn, morning to you too. Thanks for the little coffee cup. Harsh, definitely going to swipe up the glass variant. Oh, if it's not too pricey, dude, it's going to be pricey. If the comic stores have to buy 250 of those things, they're going to pass that cost on to you. But the good thing is, once they buy 250, they can buy as many of the glass variants as they want, up to whatever limit they've placed on it that they're going to make total. It might be allocated, but I don't picture a whole lot of shops bringing that one in. I'm not sure I'm going to. I don't need 250 Bloodshots. So you might be picking that one up on eBay for a hefty price. Okay, Batman Damned. We talked about that yesterday, I think. Number 1. Number 2, they've released the cover, and it is just, it's on the DC Black label, like we told you. So it's not really canon, and it's going to be a little darker. Harley Quinn is on the cover, and her face is painted up sugar skullish, and dude, she just looks menacing. She looks very, very scary. Like I told you, the Damned, it starts off with Joker is found dead. So, Batman's investigating it, but of course, anywhere Joker's at, Harley's right there too. So she's going to want to find out what happened to Mr. J. And man, I don't want to meet this woman in a dark alley. She is just scary. Yeah, they're going to feature, number 2 will have other characters like that you haven't seen in a while, like Etrigan the Demon and Deadman. And we've seen Enchantress, but Deadman, I've always liked that character. I don't think they use him well enough or often enough. Etrigan the Demon, I haven't seen him in a while. So I'm glad they're bringing those guys back, even if it is in the non-canon Black label. Look for that just for the cover alone, man. I might just buy that and frame the cover. It's awesome. Netflix has given Glow a 3rd season. If you don't know what Glow is, back in the 80s, they had the Glorious Ladies of Wrestling, which was like the answer to the all-male WWF back then. It was it was mostly campy. It's like comparing the old Batman 66 to, Christopher Nolan's Batman now. You had the gritty, real stuff going on, and then you had kind of the campy stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, those ladies were still very athletic and still did a lot of the moves and put themselves in harm's way to do them. But they had a lot of cut scenes and commercials that were just really entertaining and fun to watch. Well, this Glow season on Netflix, there's 2 seasons out now. It is loosely based on the Glow wrestlers, very similar characters. They took some liberties here and there. It's if you haven't watched it, it's kind of like a slow burn. You watch the first few, and the next thing you know, you're hooked. It stars Allison Brie as Ruth, one of the main characters, and the manager or producer of the show, Mark Marone. If you don't know him, he's a comedian. He's got his own huge podcast. The guy is he's huge. And they, like I said, they gave it a season 3. Season 1 and 2 are available on Netflix, so you might want to watch those and get caught up. It's really good. Like I said, it's campy. They show a lot of that where they made a lot of the videos, the commercials and stuff. They show some of those in the in the series. Robert the Bruce. Okay, I'm giving you a little history lesson here. They're making a movie based off of Robert the Bruce. If you don't know, he's the one who claimed the throne of Scotland way back 1300s, I believe. And the King of England didn't like that, so he wanted to, he declared him an outlaw, which basically means you're probably going to die. So it put him on the run. Netflix is making a movie based on Robert the Bruce with Chris Pine as the lead character. It's going to be called Outlaw King. And back in the 1300s, and it's based on Robert the Bruce. You're going to see a ton of battles, I'm sure. A lot of blood and guts. It's going to be brutal. So it's going to be playing at Toronto International Film Festival. If you're up around there, you can watch it earlier before everybody else, or you can just wait with me for November 9th when it comes to theaters and on Netflix. Definitely want to see it. I like Chris Pine and I like history, so let's see how close it is to actual events from history. Speaking of history, another reboot. Hollywood must be out of ideas because they are rebooting everything from the 80s now, 80s, 90s. The next one they have on the slate is Magnum PI. They are going to They're going to reboot Magnum PI. I'm not sure if that was such a good show or if women just watched it to see Magnum. Yeah, I don't know. I that in the Hollywood setting, and he had a really nice car. But I guess the few I did watch was good. I always wanted to see who Higgins, you had Higgins. You wanted to see what was going on, try to figure out who was actually hiring Magnum to do all this stuff. But they have announced some more casting. Ken Jeong, you probably know him from, well, most recently he was in Crazy Rich Asians, but you probably see him in The Hangover. He was the crazy Asian dude in Hangover. He is going to be cast as one of Magnum's poker buddies, who is also a detective, but he has a little more, anything to get the job done. His morals are not quite the same as Magnum's. And Magnum supposedly will be driving his Ferrari around Hollywood. They also cast Carl Weathers. You know him. He was Apollo Creed. He was also in Billy Madison. He was a guy who mentored Billy to play golf. Carl Weathers is going to be playing a dude who is trying to make it as a fisherman. They're in Hawaii. His prize tuna gets stolen, and he hires Magnum to help him find out who did it. That's your issue or episode 1 for the Magnum PI reboot. It's going to be coming out September 24th on CBS. And they have already said you can probably expect to see some crossovers with their Hawaii Five-0 show, which is also being filmed in Hawaii, of course, Hawaii Five-0. So there might be a little crossover there. Magnum PI on CBS. If you've been reading Infinity Wars comic, the recent one, not the older ones, you found out, it's not spoilers, it's been out for a couple weeks now. The character Requiem, who is coming after all the stones, is in fact Gamora. I also reported to you that she killed Star-Lord, who was supposedly her boyfriend because he was in the way of her getting all the stones. Well, Doctor Strange kind of negated that with the time stone. He went back, and so Star-Lord didn't stay dead. And she also killed Adam Warlock. He also didn't stay dead. He went into his cocoon. So we're going to be seeing Adam Warlock again, I'm sure. Gamora is trying to get all these stones because way back when Thanos killed her, she her Adam Warlock put her soul into the Soul Stone, a part of it, so that she wouldn't be dead. Now she wants, it's really messing her up, so she wants to get herself out of the Soul Stone. But we're finding out it might not actually be her. It might be a subterfuge by some other bad character who is trying to get out of the Soul Stone, named Devondra, who's getting out because she must feed. So it might be a long con that character is running to get out of the Soul Stone, and just using Gamora to do so. We will find out in the next issue, I'm sure. Batman Beyond. They, like I said, they have been introducing a lot of the villains. We're getting the Joker. I told you about Scarecrow. Scarecrow has a new tactic. He doesn't have the gas, the scare gas. Scarecrow now uses sound, and it's not Dr. Crane. It is a new character they have not revealed, but everybody's thinking it's Adeline, the reporter from News 52. Don't know. I'm sure they will reveal it a few issues from now. But like I said, using sound now to instill fear, and it is working because it is wreaking havoc on all of Neo Gotham. That will be out November 28th. Is written by Dan Jurgens with art by Brett Booth and Norm Ratman. Booth and Ratman are an awesome duo. The artwork I'm just looking at right now is amazing. Those, just those two guys' artwork, it would be worth it. And now we got a good story also. Yep. Can't wait to see that one. Punisher on Netflix. They've released a few set photos, and we see the Frank Castle's wearing the body armor with the skull on it. So we're going to actually finally see his costume kind of like it's looked in the comics. Now, the Punisher is keeping it more based reality. They don't have the flashy, spandex costumes. He wears actual body armor, and kind of like with all the Netflix stuff, they try to keep it as real as they can. Some of the stuff gets a little mystical. It has to, with Iron Fist and the whole Daredevil fighting the Foot Clan stuff. But Frank Castle, Punisher Season 2, they're saying sometime in 2019. It looks like the main villain is going to be Jigsaw, the dude who he tore his face up in Season 1, his ex-friend Billy Russo. Can't wait. The first season of Punisher was really good. It really caught the Punisher character. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Our last story article is going to be about Riri Williams. If you don't know who that is, when Tony Stark went into his coma in the iron lung, she kind of filled in. She built her own suit of armor at MIT. So she filled in as Iron Man, but she was called Ironheart. She has a new suit of armor, more feminine looking, more sleek, stealth. Lots of pink and black. The only thing she's missing is white. If she had a little white in the suit, it would be almost a direct link to Spider-Gwen. But she's got the black, pink, and gray. The armor, I think it looks pretty good. I'm sure she's got some stuff hidden in it, just like Tony has a ton of stuff hidden in his armor. She is getting her own series, Riri Williams, Ironheart. It is coming out in November. I don't have an exact date, but if you like that character, you're going to be seeing more of her in November, so get ready. Okay, that is all I have for you on this Tuesday. I want you to go and subscribe to me on YouTube. Like this video, leave a comment on this video, please. If you don't like video, if you're just wanting the audio, you can get that from talknerdypodcast.com. You can listen to it there in your browser or download it. You have an iOS device? Good. Go to iTunes and subscribe to us there and leave us a good rating and review. Like I said, I am Troy Stegner with Talk Nerdy to Me. This is all the nerdy news you need for Tuesday. Later, nerds. End.